You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kiss stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
G5 Jeff TV, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. Follow me on Instagram and Twitter at BoxWithG5 Jeff TV. That's BOXWIT G5 Jeff TV. And if you guys don't mind, hit the bell icon so you can be notified when I drop that heat. Now, on Sky Sports, they had Eddie Hearn on, and then he brought out Dillian Whyte. And Dillian Whyte, being the gangster that he is, called out Alexander, sole founder of the PED Boys, Povetkin. Now, that's a great fight. That's a great fight. And I love the call out by Dillian Whyte because a lot of people, especially in the States where I'm at, people look at Dillian Whyte and think that he's just being thrown in front of Deontay Wilder by Eddie Hearn. Like he's basically like a bodyguard for Anthony Joshua. And anybody that follows Dillian Whyte knows that that's just not the case. At the end of the day, Dillian Whyte will run up on anybody and he'll call out anybody. So I wasn't surprised by Dillian Whyte calling out Alexander Povetkin. Now, Dillian Whyte is coming off of a really good victory over Lucas Brown. And Lucas Brown didn't offer too much competition. He didn't do too much. But the thing that I was impressed with the most with Dillian Whyte is that he was composed. He was composed. He was under control. He kept his emotions in check in that fight. Now, don't get me wrong, Lucas Brown didn't give him a reason to not keep his emotions in check in that fight. But it was good to see Dillian Whyte work the jab up top, work it to the body. He did beautiful body work on Lucas Brown, which I think actually set up a lot of those headshots. And he just went in for the kill pretty much after the cut over Lucas Brown's eye. I think it was in the second or third round. So when you watch Dillian Whyte versus Lucas Brown versus Dillian Whyte versus Dereck Chisora, night and day in terms of his approach. Like, and I know it was some bad blood between Dillian Whyte and Dereck Chisora, no doubt. You know, different element with that fight. But you can have beef with somebody and it can be personal, but you can go in the ring and still do what needs to be done to give yourself the best chance to win. And if that's just flat out boxing, then you flat out box. Now, Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin, that's a great style matchup because with Dillian Whyte, he loves to throw those body shots. And is Dillian Whyte willing to throw body shots and possibly give up headshots to Alexander Povetkin, who could possibly be on the finest PED juices for that fight? Unless that fight is being drug tested by VADA, I don't trust any fight with Alexander Povetkin. That's just point blank, period. I don't know how good Alexander Povetkin is. I question pretty much every single fight he's ever had because he's on the peds. Like, he's on the peds, got caught multiple times on the peds. And those are facts. So until Alexander Povetkin actually fights under a VADA type program where VADA's actually catching people, and they're the ones that I think caught Canelo Alvarez, it's always going to be a question mark with Alexander Povetkin. And to be honest with you, that's any fighter that has been caught on pads. You can openly question every single fight they've ever had in their career. And it's only fair. It's only fair, it's only right. And I'm not just picking on Alexander Povetkin. I might pick on him the most. But that goes for anybody that's been popped for the peds. Now, assuming that both guys are clean, Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin, I would just love the fight to be drug tested by VADA just to ensure that both guys are clean for the fight. I just think style-wise, that's going to be fireworks. Like, that's going to be fireworks. Like somebody's getting knocked out within 8 rounds in that fight. And it'll be easy for Dillian Whyte to just say, hey, I want Deontay Wilder. I want Deontay Wilder. Like, that's all I'm looking for. It'll be easy for him to say that. But for him to go after a Alexander Povetkin, to call him out, that really doesn't put Dillian Whyte in a better business position than where he is right now. You know, he has the inside track on Deontay Wilder, and he has an inside track on Anthony Joshua. You know, so the fact that he wants to stay busy, stay active, and basically fight the best guys out here, you have to commend a guy like that. And Dillian Whyte will run up on anybody. Like, he will run up on anybody. Like, his personality, the way he talks, the way he fights, like, that's something that usually the American fans gravitate to. But for some reason, he's just looked at as the guy that Eddie Hearn is throwing in front of Deontay Wilder, you know, trying to, you know, basically have a roadblock in the way of the Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua unification fight, basically for all of the marbles. But Dillian Whyte is just a lot more than that in terms of a fighter. He's a guy that really is just fighting the best, you know, and really just leaving the politics to the people that are politicians in boxing, the Eddie Hearns, the Frank Warrens, you know, the Bob Arums of the world, and he's just leaving it up to them. Like, he's just calling guys out and he's ready to fight. He's just doing what a fighter does. So hopefully they can make that fight, Dillian Whyte versus Alexander Povetkin. And don't get me wrong, I'm just like everybody else. I would love to see the Deontay Wilder versus Anthony Joshua unification for all the marbles, whether it's in the UK, whether it's in, you know, the US here in Vegas, you know, wherever it is. I want to see the fight just as much as everybody else. And that fight, I don't know if it goes down in the UK, even though it's probably more money in the UK. But after that performance by the referee in that Anthony Joshua and Joseph Parker fight, and that performance by the judges in that fight, I mean, that's going to be a hard sell and a hard press in negotiations in terms of where that fight is going to land. And don't get me wrong, I mean, there's been bad judging and bad referees in America as well, you know, but that's definitely going to be a sticking point, because the Anthony Joshua, Joseph Parker debacle as far as the judges and the referee, that's the most recent example. And, you know, that's something that would definitely be brought up in negotiations. But as much as I want to see that fight, boxing doesn't start or stop with that fight. Like, there's other great fighters, there's other good fighters, there's other good matchups out here in boxing, and Dillian Whyte and Alexander Povetkin is one of those fights. So hopefully they'll make that happen. Hopefully they'll make it happen soon. And y'all let me know what y'all think of Dillian Whyte calling out Alexander Povetkin. A real gangster move by Dillian Whyte. This is G5 Jeff TV. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Please share this video. Support your boy. Support good content at all times. And please follow me on Twitter and Instagram at BoxWithG5 Jeff TV. I appreciate y'all. Peace.